morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We
It's
made
Thursday.
Another week.
We made it to another Thursday.
Yeah, so did you guys. Thanks so very kindly for joining us again for another edition of our weekly Title Talk. My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are
Your
Inspired Title Group.
your friendly neighborhood title company.
The title company that cares.
All of
the
that
title
fun
company
stuff.
that ages. The title company that is willing to go above and beyond for you. We're kind of in a stage of the season where there's a lot of things happening. Spring is on the way. We're seeing this snow melt, and just gets really exciting for us to watch that, because that typically leads us to kind of, oh my gosh, here comes spring. We got homes going. We got
Yeah.
buying and selling. We've got. It's just a cool time of the year for us to.
And I think that's why our topic is kind of cool
Yeah,
this
I think
week.
so.
I think it's kind of gonna give you a little insight into why we love this time of the year so much
Yeah.
and what it means to us. So.
Yep. Stay tuned for that. We are going to go through our typical routine of our fun facts and a little bit more about Drew and Amy and our two toots and a lie. And obviously, the Inspired Title gives back. We got some breaking news on that as well. Some new opportunities for that, and I'm pretty excited to share those things with you guys as well. So why don't we get on with it?
Let's do it.
Let's go through to some Inspired Title talk.
Yeah.
And today's topic is what, Amy? What do you want to do?
So I thought it'd be cool to talk about the integration of Inspired Development and Inspired Title. So we do Title Talk, and it's super cool because it's telling you our everyday of what title is. We kind of give you some insight into the language that could be boring,
Right,
like
right.
what title is and stuff. So Drew, I wanted to start just by asking you, what is your feeling on title? And this is going to lead me to where I'm going from
Okay.
here.
My feeling on title.
Of being just like a title person.
Yeah, it's not sexy.
So Drew doesn't like title. I love title.
Yeah. And it's not even that I don't like it. It's just nobody knows what it is.
Right.
So it's not something that is make bold in making a statement.
It isn't, for sure.
Right.
So I guess, how did you come up with the idea to start doing development? Because we have a development company.
Mm-hmm.
It's Inspired Development. We're working on some big stuff right now, and that's why we jokingly said, this is the time of the year where we just hold our breath and wait for.
Yeah.
As soon as the snow starts melting, we're like, okay, new houses, bid on houses, get more houses, build more houses. So what made you get Inspired Development from Inspired Title? How did that happen?
A lot of it was a migration between my enjoyment and love for building, and we've talked before where things like we go through this whole day and we don't know what we did at the end of the day. There's nothing visual to see. Whereas in construction, you walk away and you see your product, what you've done. So through the course of doing this and through the many years that I've been doing the title side of this, I've seen investors come through. I've seen these foreclosures and short sales happen. I've seen the rehab things going on. And all of these things interested me, and there was some excitement in some of it going, I could do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing some hard money lending to our investors, where I was basically their bank and involved in sharing some opportunities to help them kind of grow into what they're doing.
So you were lending money on people to do these rehabs, to
Right.
do these remodels. So
Right.
you weren't actually involved in the development initially.
Not at that point.
You were
Yeah,
just
not yet.
lending money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then opportunities from that evolved for me to see some of these foreclosures and short sales and tax sales and things because of just the market of the clients that we have. And then so I started taking on some of my own rehabs and buying some of my own properties to do and develop and kind of get myself back into what I really enjoyed before, which was construction and the building market, and really putting happiness and smiles on people's faces from something that you kind of created.
That is my favorite part about development.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if you think about some of these houses that we go into, we sadly bid on a house yesterday that we did not get, but it's the first of many that I'm sure we'll bid on and lose. But I think like the first time I ever walked into a house that was pretty much just like abandoned, it was a really weird feeling for me. Because like you're walking through these people's houses that like sometimes they just up and leave. You don't know if somebody passed and like they didn't have anybody to leave their house to, but like there's pictures of these families on the walls, and it's like it's a weird feeling. You're excited because you have this house to work on, but at the same time you're like, this is kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's, you
don't know the story behind what caused them to leave.
Just get up and
home.
go. And I think that was like the weirdest. Like I didn't think it would affect me like it did, but like the first time I walked through this house, I'm like,
yeah. I mean, we see both sides of that, and and if you think about it, when we're building a new home, we're building something from the ground up. It's kind of our creation of what we're building,
right?
And maybe depending on the intervention of that buyer, they may put their own spins and touches on it. But for the most part, it's our
baby.
It's our design. It's our whole thing. And then, whereas the rehab side of it, there's some history there. That thing has been
lived in and loved it,
and you kind of, like you said, you stand in some of these rooms and you kind of look around, and unfortunately for us, we've seen a lot of the leftovers. Like people just leave these homes absolutely in just
shambles.
Terrible shape. And I agree with you. My first few times walking through those too,
it's a weird feeling.
It is, and even I think Ryan has started to say that in a couple instances as he's been the newest addition to the team, as he's walking through going, wow, these places are really banged up.
And like we have a couple of Chicago projects we're doing right now, and I think like Chicago is like a whole different beast than like the suburbs.
For sure.
Because like, you know, you walk through this house and you look at these houses, and like people were like for sure living in like squatting. Like for sure. So like
you see the sadness.
It makes you sad that like you're getting blessed to like work on this house that somebody was using as their form of survival when it's negative 20 outside. So it's just like you see it. Like I never thought that I would tie those two together in such a way, but it's like the more different houses I see, the different feelings I get from it. It's a weird thing.
Well, the unfortunate part of a lot of this too is the way we get them. You know, we get them from a tax sale. You know, that means somebody lost them to taxes. We get them through a foreclosure. That means that they couldn't afford the mortgage.
Right.
And then the example that you just gave is there are so many homeless people out there that they're just looking for some warm place to get into, and you know that angers a lot of people in the city. That angers a lot of people who own these abandoned homes, and you know they're dealing with the you know trying to get them out. And as sad as that is, that's a reality that we're you know up against. And I'm blessed and thankful to say, as you mentioned, we have several City of Chicago homes that we are going to be rehabbing and selling back to the community. It is a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
It's a good flip on like the crappy, you know, like the crappy A side of this. At least the B side is we're working closely with like some lenders and realtors that are helping the people out, where they're helping them get pre-qualified for these homes. People who never thought they'd be able to own a home are now getting put into situations that like they have a dream house in like that they never thought they would have. So like there is a silver lining, and there definitely is like a light at the end of the tunnel, but like it's hard at the beginning, but then you see like who actually gets to buy these houses and what you do for these people, and like it makes it all worth it.
And that goes back to the original question that you asked me is, you know, the transition, because I've seen that side of it. I've been on that end of it where the end result is extraordinary. But so my interest and excitement to kind of migrate from title and utilizing the skills that I've got from being in title and the connections through that, the synergy was easy. It made just total sense to bring into this thing an Inspired Development and start to do this. No big aspirations to be a huge builder.
I still remember when that happened. I still remember that day that we said we need a development company.
Mm-hmm.
We were signing on the lots in Crown Point,
Yep.
and I was signing under Inspired Business Group,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, no,
Right.
we need a development company. Like it was weird. Like I will never forget. I remember the chair I was sitting
Yep.
in. I remember what I was doing. Like
People around you.
yes,
Yeah,
everyone.
absolutely.
It was So and I think it's one of the best decisions you ever thought of because it's been a great.
It's afforded some opportunities for not only employees, but it's afforded some opportunities for homeowners.
Mhm.
And there again, this is what drives me and motivates me is those type feelings.
And you're a people person.
Right.
You like making people happy. You like working with people, and the fact that I can happily say like every knock on wood homeowner that we've ever or home buyer that
Yeah.
we've ever dealt with has been like incredible. Like
Super.
we have such good relationships with the people that bought houses from us, and we were talking about this the other day that like I think that's hard to find. I think it's hard to find like a GC or like a contracting company or an LLC that flips houses and that has good relationships with the people that buy their houses.
Agreed.
I think it's not. I think it's a rare thing, and the fact that like we've talked about the family that bought our house in Indiana. Like, come back, you better come and see me. Like,
Right.
the woman that bought our house in Maywood, she's like, I can't wait till you guys come back in the spring and see my vegetable garden. Like,
Right.
it's incredible. Like,
Those are the things, Amy, that let you know that you're doing it the right way. Those are the things that allow you to sleep at night and realize that you're doing, yes, you're earning some income from it,
Mhm.
but you're doing a good thing.
Yeah.
And that is what is important about the people wake up every day and dread the fact that they gotta go to the office, they gotta go to work.
Right.
What's wrong with getting up every day and being excited about what you do, and whose life are you going to touch today? How are you going to impact somebody today? And we talk about that every day. Like what are you going to do today to make a difference in somebody else's life?
and like all the pain in the butt decisions about like, do we go, which one of these 5 granites do we like? Which one matches the best with these cabinets? Every text message, every phone call, every minute spent on these decisions is 100% worth it because of what we get from there. And we actually had an exciting house that before it was listed, before it was even completed, someone put an offer on it, which is the first time that's ever,
I'm looking at you glow. You are so excited to share that. It's great.
It is such something that I never thought. Like Roxanne, she's our realtor. She was our realtor on this house, and she was like, "I have this idea. Why don't we try this?"
Right.
So it went on can I say that out loud when it went?
Sure.
It was on like a private listing network. So she told us pretty much what it means is you put up a couple pictures of these. my jaws are, of these like unfinished houses with no price on there.
Mm-hmm.
And people are welcome to go look through it with the knowledge that it will be finished at one point, but it's not right this minute. So within the first couple days of it being on that network, we had 2 families that walked through it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them put an offer on.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, we have an offer on a house before it's actually done.
Right.
I think it's because of my butcher block and my blue cabinet, but I'll leave that to I'm kidding. But yeah, it's like it's when you think you're excited about the sale of a house, like, oh my god, it's just
So
if
I can ask you a question about that, because you're obviously very, very excited and you're very passionate about it because you're talking excited about it, and that's great to see as somebody who is doing this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your excitement is contagious, and I hope the people that are listening and viewing can really appreciate that excitement and the goodness that what we're doing. But what most excites you about that? Is it really the depth of that we made an impact in somebody's life?
100%.
Right.
There is. So I'm dorky, like Drew said. He says the reason I like this is because I get the first dibs on people
Stuff left over.
stuff that people didn't take when they left. So like I decided from this house that every house I do that there's something salvageable, I'm going to like restore it and give it to these people that are buying this house. And I do it I'm not getting paid for it. It's something that like it's a piece of history and it's a piece of this house that I want to give to somebody. And it's because I think it would make them happy. I think people would enjoy it. Like,
you should show that stained glass.
They should. I'll bring it once it's done. I'll bring it
Yeah.
next week to show you guys. Because there were these gorgeous stained glass windows that were on the south side of the house that they weren't up to code anymore because windows have to be a certain size. So we had to take them out and replace the windows. And when our demo team was in there, I was like, whatever you do,
Yeah.
save that seahorse and save these two windows. And they cut them out, and so now my plan is to repurpose those and give them to the person that buys our house. But yeah, I'll bring them to show you guys.
Yeah.
And it's the little stuff we do. I want to put together a before and after book for
Right.
these people because I want them to see what their house was and what it is now. And this one was a huge remodel. This
one
we
was
just
big.
did.
Yeah, we're gonna. If you tune into the Inspired Development Facebook page,
It's usually
we're
me
gonna.
guffawing and
Yeah, I think we're gonna go out
glaring
there
sunlight.
tomorrow, being Friday, and,
Yeah.
and doing another walkthrough where it's like I said, it's just about done. I mean, carpeting's in and things like that. But Amy takes a quick tour through it and talks about where it was and
what it was,
where
what
it is
it
now,
is.
and what was before and after. So, and I think we have some before and after pictures up there. But this house was
This
it was
was-
a bigger project. We took some risks.
We did. This was definitely one. We actually put a dormer on this house.
Yeah.
Which is something that usually I think this was the first one I've ever
Yeah.
witnessed of
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Usually it's just the inside the gut job to fix it up. But this one, Drew had the idea. He's like, this needs more. This needs something. This is potential, and it's on a lot. It's got a half vacant lot next to it that a homeowner can buy at some point if they want
Right,
to.
right. Right.
And yeah, so it was. Oh my God, that dormer is huge. It's so
Yeah, I mean, it added two big bedrooms and a bathroom and a nice sitting area
Yeah.
that we just absolutely really made look homey. And we went to the other side of this and took another risk, and we did a kind of a black and white theme where
which looks incredible, and it's out of our realm. It was out of
something
our
different. We took a chance.
normalcy.
Yeah.
If you're ever driving through neighborhoods and you see a blue door on it,
Yep.
chances are it might be one of ours.
Yep.
Because that's kind of a thing we're starting with our houses. We're putting blue doors on them
Yep.
to show inspired development.
Inspired development was here.
And this is the first one we did butcher block in.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big fan of butcher block, and it's not that we just our islands in butcher block. We have granite everywhere else.
Right.
It's got a gorgeous dining room with this back. It was like a Four
Orchard.
Seasons room, but now it's
Yeah, that was off the bedroom.
yeah, it was off of the bedroom. We put
Yeah.
we opened it up with some car siding on there and made it like an outdoor sitting area. There's a back porch with sliding doors that leads in this giant backyard.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a home, it might have been a wrestle for somebody because this is a house I would have lived in.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Amy says that it was a big project, I mean, for just a normal layperson, any kind of a home remodel is a big project. We're talking about, we literally, when we walked in there, we opened up this place from a kind of compartmentalized house to an open, when you walk in the front door, you can see all the way through to the kitchen. We literally removed a staircase that was in the center of the house and moved it.
Put it against a wall.
Put it against a wall and changed the whole configuration of the first floor, and then created a manageable, usable second floor where at the onset it was just an attic.
It was just an attic.
It was just an attic that was, kind of unfinished, and I as I walked up that attic, I said, this thing's too big and too huge to not utilize. Let's blow out the part of the roof and let's utilize this space. And it was a risk at the beginning, but being able to, and that's what the experience and the ability that I've been working in construction for some years, you can see what these things could look like, and that's my teach to Ryan and Amy is showing them a vision beyond the clutter.
And I was gonna say that's something my brain still is. It's a work in progress for my brain. I
Right.
feel like it takes years to mold your brain to see outside of the box. I'm a very one
Show it to
track
me.
horse blinders go. So this is forcing me to kind of think outside the box and see what could be, even though it isn't right in front of me. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I mean, I walk in and I would rather have the house be more of a disaster, more of a mess than not, because I can see beyond that mess as to the potential of what it'll be, and that does scare some people. Some people look at this and go, "This is too much for me. I can't do this," and I like that opportunity. I want to take that risk and jump into this.
And this is why Drew says I placed a bid on a house now, and he doesn't say there's a house I want you to look at.
Right.
because sometimes I'm like, yes, and sometimes I'm like, no, but now he just kind of
Yeah.
he's like, all right, we bid on a house, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I just, because I can see beyond the look of it. But the development company has really morphed into a lot of different opportunities. I mean, we're getting people calling us to finish their basement. We have people saying, hey, would you remodel our kitchen? Never in my wildest dream was that something that I thought was
On the
what we were going to
horizon,
do.
Yeah.
We have this subdivision that is going to be going up in Maryville. Now that the weather's breaking, like Amy mentioned earlier, and we talked about, the reality is we got to do
go time.
We got to do the streets. We got to do all the water and the sewer and everything before we can build one house out there. So I would say a good majority of 2021 will be kind of navigating through that. But you're talking about a piece of land that is you look out your window right now and look into a vacant lot that is just trees in an area, and imagine what that will look like with 37 homes on it. I mean, that's what we're creating.
So
And
cool.
You're just literally creating it from a vision and from a concept, and then you've got to go, okay, well, this street will go here, and then it's going to turn here, and it's going to do these things, and the lots are going to be this big, and all of that stuff is a planning. And then the behind the scenes stuff is the stuff that people don't know, and I'm not going to bore you with the details because there's a lot of them. But city meetings and villages and townships and people not wanting that subdivision there, and it's going to be disruptive, and I mean all kinds of different things take place, and those are the things I like to engage in, and those are the conversations I enjoy having, because again, it's bettering a community. It's bringing some new to a community.
And it was an old golf course, so the grounds are beautiful.
Yeah, it really
is
was.
So cool. It
Yeah,
is.
I'm excited about that, and
Yeah.
and that does bring a kind of a level of, wow, this is going to be a big
It's-
project, but it'll be cool.
Oh yeah, and hopefully breaking ground in Indiana in a couple weeks,
Yep, March 8th, we have a dig date for our newest project.
and then hopefully we pick up another Maywood one. We're working in Chicago, so
Yeah, a lot of good things going.
There's a lot. We are very blessed. This company, it's growing at a good pace. I feel like
I'm
it's a slow climb, which I think is one of the best parts about it. We're not stretching outside our boundaries yet, and we're kind of
For sure.
We're still small enough to be able to keep a close eye on everything that we're doing, so that nothing gets past us.
I mean, the
So
demand is out there, and we've been bugged by many that the demand is out there.
Yeah.
But we're staying within our boundary.
Yeah, we're
because,
staying comfortable because-
it's something that I'm not gonna overextend the team
No.
to do something to meet expectations of others. I think that we're gonna run at our pace and do what we need to do to
'Cause-
accelerate this.
Yeah, because what we're working on takes more detail than like just a flip, like people call
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like I said, new construction and subdivisions, and Chicago is a entire beast in itself. So
Absolutely.
the stuff that we're working on does take attention to detail. So that's stuff that we want to make sure we keep our eyeballs on, so nothing slips through the cracks.
And I would totally say that I'm excited about each project equally. I don't feel that I have a bigger excitement for one over the other. I think that
this is
because the end result is still the same.
it is.
It's the homeowner coming in going, oh my gosh, this is mine.
It's as a snowball of
And
excitingness.
we were just a huge part of that. And then on the title side of it, you're a huge part of it because you
Yeah.
assisted them to that process. So it does tie
It works together.
the pieces together.
It does. It's a yeah.
Right, and that was just my vision as this thing kind of started evolving. I'm going, okay, I'm doing title, this is fine, I get it, I see it, and then it kind of snowballed into some other opportunities, and then I just kept moving
Yeah.
the ball down the field, and I mean, we're growing into, the realty world now. We're talking about, adding real estate to our portfolio of inspired stuff. I mean, it's incredible.
And you just have to keep your eyeballs, keep your mind open and see how you can help people and what's going to make everyone's lives easier. And I think lending is. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna.
I'm not afraid of, that's I think part of it too, is I'm not afraid of the new opportunities and taking a chance
You definitely are not.
because I just have the confidence in myself as well as the people I surround myself with.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I try to find people and become aligned with them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for asking those questions.
Of course.
let's wrap this up with our quote of the day, Aim.
Okay,
And,
going
let's
back to
keep it
my
going.
boy Thomas Jefferson.
TJ.
Good old TJ. If you want something you never had, then you've got to do something you've never done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, TJ.
Thank you, TJ.
That is so very true. How about the best way to appreciate your job
Is
is
to-
to imagine yourself without one. Bam! Mic drop. Imagine yourself without one. Best way to appreciate your job
no.
is imagine yourself without one.
I-
You know, there's a lot of folks out there that are struggling every day and looking for, you know, something to do, and you know, that really makes you feel a little bit different. So
So sorry for our long-winded title
Yeah.
talk, but thanks for sticking with us,
thank
guys.
you, and thank you all, as always, in tuning in and listening to us week after week. We're going to come to you next week on a different day, probably.
Yes.
We'll stay tuned for
Updates on that.
Updates on that. We will be continuing to grow our community and grow our family.
Share the Homes with Heroes for people. I
Oh my
think
gosh.
please share that one, because I want to help people. We want to help people. That's what the company wants to do. That's why we do ITG Gives Back. So nominate people, whatever you have to do. I don't
Yes.
even know like the process of it.
No, if you have somebody that is buying, selling, refinancing, go onto the Homes for Hero website, contact myself, Amy, reach out to us, and we can get you guys connected and help you guys out through the process and save them some substantial money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's really important to to
Say
do
thank you.
for your for your fellow heroes. So until next week, my name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are Inspired Title Group, guys. We thank you for listening and tuning in each week. Feel free to share this and subscribe. And if you missed any part of this, if you want to see this again, we'll have it up on YouTube in the next couple days. So until next time, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.